Coach, obviously you guys had a dominant series against Siena. You played very well against Missouri. Tonight was the first time you were really battle tested. How would you evaluate the resiliency of your squad?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good team. It's a well-coached team, and if you're ever going to have a chance to beat Bryant, you're going to have to beat them. And luckily, we were able to do that in the ninth inning. But there's some moments in that game where our guys could have given in, even when we weren't scoring. I thought the at-bats were getting better and better and better. Lined out 3 or 4 times in the 7th and 8th, and Dom Castellano kind of slowing that thing down, and then what Russ Sanderford did in the 8th and the 9th to really keep it in check and get it in. I mean, you could put a clock on that top of the 9th inning. It was about 60 seconds from when that bottom of the 8th ended to back in the dugout and hitting, and our guys took a chance. So,
just last night we asked Andrew Williamson, who was a guy that he was ready to see at bat. He said he and Espinal. And tonight he comes out, gets the walk off. I mean, this was a guy that you put in the pinch hit. What went through your head whenever you made that call?
We were talking about that from the 6th inning on. Like, he's going to get a chance to win this. As soon as we get a chance where he could hit with some runners in scoring position, we were going to use it, and it just happened to line up perfectly for us. The chance with the left on left with Cruzen to use him, to me, felt like the right thing. Obviously, for one, Espinal was a great hitter, but he'd go up there hit right-handed, and if they bring somebody else in, he's just going to flip around left-handed. And it worked out.
Not the night that you got, like Stagliano or Castellanos might have wanted, but how important was it for Sanford to come in and give you 2 straight shutdown
innings?
innings?
And I thought there was some moments out there that Dom Stagliano was really good. We gave him a couple too many outs and kind of caused some chaos for him that he didn't do himself. And then outside of 2 pitches, I thought Dom Castellano was really, really good. He'd want those 2 pitches back, but that's going to happen if it's solo home run and the ball off the wall. And then we went infield and they squibbed one in there. So all 3 of those guys showed really good spurts of really good stuff tonight.
Espinal ended up getting in that position in the first place thanks to the extraordinary plate discipline you guys were showing right there, getting those walks there, especially the walk that made it a 1-run ball game. Just what you're telling your batters there at the beginning of that inning.
Just relax, stick with the approach, 1 pitch at a time. I think once we got 2nd and 3rd, they were pitching Lex tough, and he did a good job not expanding the zone. And got that. And then once you got bases loaded, Sonny with the mature at bat you think that Sonny would get, and got a chance to drive in some runs there.
Seemed like Lex and Andrew were trying to swing for power at first, but then it seemed like they really locked in and understood the moment, you know, especially with just like keeping your eye in there. Like, how impressed were you with their discipline?
Well, in those moments, right? Like the big spots, you're trying to see your best players have the best at bats in those big moments. And you saw guys early in the count trying to drive a ball, and then you saw late in the count shorten it, cut that swing down, and battle for their teammates, and they got rewarded for it, and so did we.
Obviously, you know, you guys had to battle back tonight. Where do you hope to improve for the next 2 games of this series so you don't maybe find yourself in this position again?
Yeah, I think you would love to not be behind, but that's the game of baseball. You're going to make some pitches, they're going to get hits. That's a good team. I just want to see our guys continue to play. Now, I wouldn't like to give them 3 runs by the things that happen defensively, because we're better than that. But I'm just really proud of the way they continue to play our style of baseball. Even though it didn't look good for most of it, they just wanted the shot at the end, they got it.
Last season, again, in Game 1 against Bryant, you also had that 1-run victory that time on opening night, 1-run victory again on Friday. Just what makes Bryant such a tough out in Game 1?
Well, they don't really beat themselves. They're good defensively. Their hitters are tough. They know what they're doing. There's a plan. They're well coached. That's a championship team, a regional team. They've been through it. They're battle tested just like we are.
Former UCF assistant Ryan Klosterman there.
Correct. Been battling since I was 12 years old.
The 4-game consecutive home stretch here, are you worried at all about like fatigue hitting your players?
No, not in February. We're not really concerned. I mean, these 3-night games, it's not real hot. We'll just stick with the same thing we've been doing. I'm not worried about that yet.
When constructing the schedule, how was it like putting together such a tough non-conference schedule when you were looking from top to bottom? You guys are playing a lot of really good teams, including a road trip next week.
Yeah, and I think we designed it that way because we got to get ready for our league, and you're trying to prepare yourself to make a run, and there's only one way to do that, is to play competition that's going to challenge you, and that's what we did.
Last time the Bulldogs came to town, you weren't able to finish Game 2 before Mother Nature interfered. So now that you have another shot at a Game 2 against Bryant, like what do you take away from last year and tonight that you try to take with you into tomorrow?
Well, I mean, you're just happy to get to play again. I hope our guys walk in the park ready to go, excited to play, they get a chance to play again and attack the opportunity.
while the weather was on your side, it was a chilly night. You guys got to go to Provo next month to face BYU. How important are these frigid conditions for preparing you for the road?
Yeah, we talked about that in the meeting. We practiced in this every chance we got. There were some nights in January that we purposely went at night when it was colder to practice in it. We played games in it. I wanted to play this in this weather because, like you said, it's not just Provo. We're going to have to go some other places, Cincinnati, and you name it. It could be cold in Stillwater when we get there in May. So, 100%.
Russell struck out nearly half the batters he faced. How much confidence did he instill in you going forward in that closing position?
100%. That's a guy that we thought had a chance to really develop here, and he struggled through some stuff in the fall and just stuck with it. And in the early spring, started to see some of the stuff that you saw tonight, and that guy continues to get better and better, and the ceiling's as high as it is anybody on our pitching staff for that kid.
Good. Thank you, Coach.
Congrats.
Congrats on game one.
Thank you.